This fall, I helped out with a salmon research project here in Seattle. We volunteered to help scientists spot and count salmon in a neighborhood creek. These salmon are coho, and they have returned to the creek to lay their eggs. Scientists noticed that lots of fish in this creek were dying before they could spawn. Barb French is one of the scientists, and she is looking into why the salmon are dying before they can reproduce. I met her one morning, and we put on special hip waders and special boots that would keep my feet warm and dry. We began near the end of the creek where it goes through a culvert, under the road, and out to the Duwamish waterway.
Whoa.
I got to slide down the grave and into the creek.
My foot is wet. I have a leak.
Barb, my mom, and another researcher came along. We carried nets and sticks, and walked upstream. I asked Barb a lot of questions like, what are we looking for?
So what we're looking for today are 6 salmon, and then we're also looking for live healthy salmon because we're counting how many live healthy ones there are, and then we're taking samples from the sick ones.
Why are there 6 fish?
The salmon are dying before they get a chance to spawn, and we have it correlated with stormwater runoff. So if there's a really dry period before it rains, all the gunk builds up on the streets, and then when it rains it washes into the streams. And we're finding that when that happens, that the salmon are not living to spawn, that they die before they spawn.
What does a sick fish look like?
A lot of times the salmon will kind of stick their heads out of the top of the water and make these gulping motions, and that's not something a normal salmon would do. Other times we find them kind of in shallow water, just laying on their sides, just dying, not trying to swim away from us or anything. So that's what we're looking for, is 6 salmon.
Okay.
We could even see places where rainwater flowed into the creek from drains in the streets and parking lots. Barb explained how to use my stick to poke under logs, rocks, and plants where salmon might be hiding. Sometimes we saw live fish, and sometimes we saw dead fish. This one has already been examined the day before. When we found a new dead fish, we used a special tool to open up the belly. Then we could determine if the fish was male or female, and if it was a female, whether it had laid its eggs or not.
It's a girl, and she did not spawn before she died, so she's full of eggs. Isn't that sad?
Mm-hmm. Wow.
She's not even ready to spawn at all because the eggs are all stuck in the ovary tissue, not even loose.
This one is a male. This one is a female who was ready to spawn, but died before she could. We left the dead salmon in the creek because they provide important nutrients to the ecosystem. We saw signs of other creatures, like this tree that a beaver had chewed, and these tracks left by raccoons. Sometimes we would find a salmon that were swimming well, but this one was acting a little sick and spent some time hanging around between their mom's feet. I got to open up some of the salmon and report if they were male or female. We counted how many salmon we saw swimming and how many were dead, and if they were male or female.
It's a boy.
Can you tell too by its nose, Erin? See how hooked its nose is?
Yeah.
And its teeth.
Eventually, the salmon must cross under another street through a culvert. There are 2 salmon swimming together. Other than the gallons of water in my waders, the experience was pretty good.